Welcome to another edition of In the Weeds with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's #1 casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino. Good times, great rewards. Please make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Also, if you really like this content, you can give us a super thanks down this way. Ted, I chose to go positive
Yes,
offensively.
let's do it.
I figured, hey,
We got
we
some
love
things to build on.
Seth Luttrell is our guy. He's our guy. I hate that he lost his job. I didn't feel it was necessary to point out something super negative from the game, so I'm choosing to teach the people about zone insert.
Wait.
So I know we use these terms. We talk about concepts, and I know that people hear us talk about it on the podcast, and some people may know what we're talking about, some people may not. So let's take this opportunity to talk a little zone insert, people. And the reason I call it zone insert is because the tight end is inserting in between the tackles to go block a linebacker. So in this particular look, and we're going to take a look at two different plays, you've got the offensive line. So you've got Troy Everett at center. He is working a front side combination with Fabechi Wiwu, right, on this D tackle, and they are pushing to this front side linebacker, which technically you'd probably call that'd be the Sam. This you'd call this guy, since you're running at strong side, I guess technically Sam, Mike, and this would be your nickel will linebacker. I don't know if that was too much information, but it just popped in my head. So here we are. But so you've got this front side combination, and in zone blocking, a lot of the time, teams have different words for their combinations. I've always thought the easiest thing to teach people is on the front side of zone, it goes single, double, triple. Guard and center, or excuse me, center and front side guard's a single. Guard and front side tackle's a double. Front side tackle, front side tight end is a triple. In the backside, it's even easier. It's A, B, C. The center and backside guard is an A block. The backside guard and the backside tackle is a B. And then if you got a tight end and a backside tackle, that's a C block. So front side single, double, triple, backside A, B, C. You look at this block. So you would call this a single block from Troy Everett and from Fabechi Wiwu. They'll be singling this defensive lineman to this front side linebacker. Then you've got backside guard is got to take this guy pretty much by himself because you've got this tight end coming around back across and inserting on this backside backer. That means your left tackle, you're just man on man. So that's why it's zone insert, because this tight end is inserting on that backer and you are zoning the front side of things. This right tackle is just man to man on the defensive end.
Instead of split zone where the tackle is down and the tight end, instead of inserting in that B gap or wherever he ends up, he's going to the backside defensive end.
Let's just run through it real quick. Split zone. You're going to get out from the tackle. You're still going to get this same single block from the center and the right guard, push into that backer. But then you will get a B block, right? Backside guard and backside tackle will be zoning to this backside backer. And on split zone, The tight end goes about this angle and blocks the end man on the line of scrimmage. That's split zone. And these are, both, two plays, zone insert and split zone, that the Sooners ran quite a few times in this game. So we've diagrammed it. Let's take a look at it. So you see the front side combination, that single. A lot of things can change very quickly. This is something that's becoming more and more common in college football, is these interior twists between the tackles. Oklahoma's defensive line does a lot of it, and guess what? You're going to see a lot of it on Saturday because Ole Miss's defensive line does a lot of it. But so this goes from that single to where the center now has to overtake that, and then Fabechi Wiwu has to bump it all off. So this entire thing has to be initiated from the backside guard, and you'll actually see teams. Some teams, if you feel like this is something that the defense is going to do quite a bit, you can have a word that basically says, hey, it's us three, the three interior guys, for these three. That's not a great shape. That's not good. It's staying in. But I've heard a lot of people, some people just say, single A. Some people have a separate word for it. Like I was in a system where we called it gang, right? Where you get you three zoning, expecting kind of these interior games, and you kind of just work it out and sort it out. You've got you three for those three, which in this case, that'd be awfully helpful. But they actually do a pretty good job. We was coming off. Everyone sorts it out pretty good. You look at what Sexton's doing at left guard. Would you like to see him drive it a little more and just stay on? Sure. But Everett's taking it over. He continues to play. And Caleb Hicks, how about a Caleb Hicks sighting? Yeah. Showing some nice patience. Like, it looks junked up. The offensive line works through it. And it opens up. And you get a little crease there, and to Hicks's credit, he's up on the safety. Don't be fooled by the massive human being they're playing at safety. That guy is a safety. Now, if you would love to see Wiwu stay on this block, like go finish, right? If he stays on, then this guy who's making first contact with Caleb Hicks is not in the play. And he's one-on-one with the safety. And that's exactly how you draw it up. Like one-on-one with that much space, that becomes the running back's guy. It's his job to make that guy miss. But this is, with handling the interior twist, kind of sorting it all out, working through it, and then Hicks showing some nice patience. I mean, Ted, that is a second down run for 8 yards, 7 yards.
Pretty good. 7.5. Good job by Bauer Sharp going in there and fitting it up. Ball gets his helmet knocked off there, but good physical. Gets him on his heels. Really good job. I mean, there's multiple places this ball could have gone. He could have bent that back and followed Bauer Sharp a little bit. It's kind of hard to see from this angle. Maybe the angle's not there, but it's good. And this is what we talked about, right? Let those edge guys run up the field. Look at all that space created from those guys just flying up the football field.
And if, let's say that this front side backer, let's say he tucks inside a little bit, kind of gets lost in the wash in here, right? That's when, things like that happen, is when you can have some explosive runs if Hicks bounces it outside to the right.
Right.
And you see backs do that quite often, but he sees this whole develop. I think he just hits it. I mean, that's a good looking run.
Yeah.
That's zone insert run well, man.
And this look, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's 2-man. And that means both of these backers that are off the ball, they have the back and the tight end between the two of them. So this isn't a very good fit between the two guys. And the safeties are going to be later here. So like there, if you get this look, I love this run because you can do a bunch of stuff with it. It almost looks like an old bend back lead, where you're taking it across the other side of all the junk on the inside, and you get one backer that steps up in there, and you see like had they been able to had Troy Everett been able to seal off that guy. I know they're not trying to, but you can see how if Caleb Hicks would have followed Bauer Sharp over there, you've got a ton of green grass.
Yeah.
So they can. It's a look they can build off of.
Yeah. And I think that nice run, nice patience. When things are moving like that, you're changing your combinations on the fly. It's not easy. Like it's not an easy thing to do, but that's a nice job from Wee Woo, kind of delivering that defensive tackle, like powering him down to where Everett can take it over. I would like to see Everett come off the ball more, but it ends up working out. Sexton's working hard. They're pushing. They're working to the proper linebacker. Wish we would stay on him so that guy wasn't making first contact, and Caleb Hicks could have this guy one-on-one with a couple yards of space. But you handle the interior twist pretty well, and you have a nice 7.5, 8 yard run. This is another zone insert that there's one thing about this play that I want to point out. Now, first of all, it's zone insert. You're looking, hey, left tackle's out here. You've got your front side combination between left guard and center working to this front side backer. You've got this guard on here. You've got this tackle basing this guy, and then this tight end inserting on this backside backer. Now, we just walked through zone insert, right? There is one reason I wanted to show this play, and it has everything to do with the tight end. Bam. That's good. I mean, you look at this is the other one. Watch Caden Helms here. Bam. I mean, 22 is a big backer. And he gives him everything he's got. But this is what I want people to watch. Watch 18. This is what it looks like. He hits, big collision, right? And then watch this finish. There's one freaking guy that's still playing. And it's number 18. Why is he the only one still playing? That is what it looks like, Ted.
Yep.
That's what it should look like all over the tape. Like this. Finish. Keep going. Oh, he's all pissed. He shoved me. Hey, bro, stop it. Stop. No. This is how we play at Oklahoma. We block until the play is over. We don't stand and watch. We don't fix our face mask. We block until the play is over.
I'll tell you right now, whenever the NFL scouts come to town and they sit in your meeting room and watch your film before they come to the game and come to your practice on that week, that is what they're looking for. They want guys that finish through the whistle just by habit. It just happens on every single play. They want guys that are still moving at velocity whenever the whistle and the play is dead.
Still playing. Ball carrier still fighting his ass off for yards. And we got one guy that's still playing. I'll give Troy Everett, he's playing. He's finishing. His guy stops. You only do so much when your guy stops.
All right, here's the thing. Like
that's what it looks like, man.
And this is why I hate to make it sound negative and nitpick and everything, but we fumbled the ball. How many fumbles did we have?
6.
6 fumbles. So
only lost 2.
Watch 82. Like the reason you go get on 4 right there is because if that ball's punched out, right? That's why you fly to the football and you're always around whenever it happens. Or, what if he spins out of there, rolls over one of those guys like we had earlier and wasn't down? What if he rolls over him? You're there to clean up that safety, number 4 or whoever that guy is, and your guy could be off to the races. You have to finish those plays, man. You just have to.
Awesome job, Caden Helms.
I like it.
He should play more on that play alone. One more time. It's beautiful. Bam. We're stoned. We're stalemated. That's a win. Finish him. Keep playing. Keep playing. Especially if you're a guy that isn't playing a ton of snaps. This is what it looks like. This is what it should look like for every rotational guy. It's hard as an offensive lineman playing every snap to play like that every play. I understand that. That's maybe an unrealistic ask with the way that they use tempo and things, but all the rotational guys, that's the type of effort that this team should play with. If this offense played with that type of effort, be in much better shape. Want to take a look at a defensive play?
Let's do it.
But first,
all you tailgaters, listen up. We are now officially in the premium conference of college football, and you expect a premium product on the field and on the grill. That's why you need Didier Ranch's steak burgers to take your tailgate to the next level. Proudly raised in Oklahoma for over 120 years, premium beef this good is hard to come by. Go to DidierRanch.com. That's DIDIER ranch.com. Use promo code Oklahoma15 for 15% off your order. Didier Ranch, tradition plays better and tastes better.
Looking at this play for South Carolina, just 6-man protection from the Gamecocks, and it's hard to tell from here, but Jayden Jackson is head up with the center on this snap. Gracen Halton is in a tight 3 technique. 3 technique is the outside shade of the guard, and then you've got Trace Ford and Ethan Downs lined up at defensive end. So usually if you're getting a head up guy, this is almost like 4 down odd spacing. A lot of teams treat it. You'll have what's called a sort side and then kind of a man or a fan side. And typically a lot of teams will send the sort side to the field, meaning these 3, so you're talking center, left guard, left tackle, they'll have, hey, you've got the D lineman, right? So that's 1 and 2. And then you'll have 3, or this guy could be 3. So basically you have the 2 down linemen, and if a third element shows up, that's you. Which means the backside is just what a lot of people call big on big, right? You're man on man. So your guard's going to have this defensive lineman, and your tackle's going to have this defensive end. Back has this backer, and maybe he's scanning for anything extra if it's coming from the boundary. But it's a very common way of protecting, which is why I think the way that Jayden Jackson sets this center up, it's just cruel, man. It's just cruel. He's head up. He sets him up so good, Ted, to just get drilled in the side of the head by Gracen Halton.
Yeah. And it's great. Like I love all of it. He's there. He looks like he's rushing to that center's, as we look at it, would be the center's left, and just gives him a little tap, engages him, and then comes back around. And I love what Gracen Halton does. Like, the most important thing about this, and these are twists or stunts or games, whenever you hear people talking about the D-lines running games or running twists or stunts, this is what we're talking about. He's trying to get to the back shoulder of that center, because once they twist, that guard's you hear Gabe talking about it, trying to get back, keep it in front of you so you can punch it and sort it out as they twist. So he's getting back. Well, whenever he sees Jayden Jackson coming around, he's coming off Gracen Halton. So Gracen Halton has to get to that back shoulder of that center. And as soon as Jayden Jackson comes around, well, what's that center doing? He knows that he has to get to Gracen Halton, but Grayson's already got him pinned. He can't get there. So I call it a ricochet. Boom, he's into that gap. whenever Jayden Jackson comes around, because that guard's on your back. As soon as you feel that guard release, whenever the Jayden Jackson comes around, you ricochet off that center, and he does it perfect here right into the quarterback. Beautifully done.
Stack. So from an offensive line perspective, I would say the main culprit here is my man at right guard. You got to protect your center. You got to protect your center in this situation, and there's not a great view of it, but his right foot is where he gets in trouble. He goes, see this initial kick, how far it goes?
Yeah.
Gracen Halton's in a tight 3 technique. You don't need to kick out that far. You
just
almost
can't give any penetration at all, right?
when he's that tight, you almost can just you want to get a little depth, right? Because you're trying to create the same level as the rest of your offensive line, but it's almost pick them up and put it down. You don't need to go out here because you want to keep that slightly inside relationship in pass protection. You go that far, you're late when he makes that inside move. And that is what prevents that right guard from what I call snapping Gracen Halton off. You want to snap that penetrator across your center's face. Now that center, the second you feel that, you got to open your right hip and gather him with your right hand.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I'm making it sound like it's easy. It's not easy, but you have to get help from your guard. Your guard has to snap him as hard as he can. Hopefully he knocks him across your face if he's really, really good. In a perfect world, that's how it works. But you have to feel that guy setting you up for the twist. The second you feel it, you got to open that hip slightly and try to gather it.
Yeah.
And it's not easy, and it takes a lot of time, like working. That's why playing with guys and everyone being in the same positions in practice and then doing it in a game, that's why it's important.
Yeah.
And that's why I think that's some of the reason you've seen OU's offensive line struggle the way that they have is because you got guys playing all kinds of different positions. You got guys practicing positions during the week, and then they start at that position. Then they go to a different position during the game. Like, that stuff's tough because of things like this, like taking reps like this and understanding the techniques and working with the guy next to you. Like, there's a lot of details that go into playing offensive line. And these small details are the difference between South Carolina throwing a touchdown on this play because there's a guy running wide open down the middle of the field, Ted. That's the difference. These small details at offensive line are the difference between throwing a touchdown down the middle of the field or your quarterback getting sacked.
And I love look at Ethan Downs up there. Good get off, punch, drive. He's getting great movement there. He can come underneath of that tackle. Down here, Trace Ford, 2 hands on him, getting around the corner, really nice. But Gracen Halton's excellent. Now, you can have this little combination between any number of guys. You can have it as a linebacker. And the story's still the same. If you're a linebacker that's up in a mug in an A gap and you're running a twist at the defensive end, like what I would do is it's way harder because you're so much lighter as a linebacker to get that deep penetration. So if I was Gracen Halton right here, all I would do is I'm looking right at that center's right arm and I'm trying to grab his arm and his elbow. Even though I can't get past him as deep because it's harder for me to get that penetration, as soon as he tries to come off, he has nothing with his right arm, right elbow, and I can ricochet and go make the play there. So you'll see that this little 2-man game run between all kinds of different combinations of players.
South Carolina, double mug. They went A-gap backer went and picked the guard. The left guard in the game for the Sooners did not see that one coming.
Yeah.
Sack. So
Yeah.
you see these, like you said, Ted, you see these types of games, twists, whatever you want to call them. You see them from all kinds of different guys on the field, and they're not easy, especially when a guy penetrates with the speed and the violence that Gracen Halton has on this one. This angle does not do this play justice from
No, the end
Gracen
zone
Halton.
angle is beautiful.
He knocks the absolute hell out of that.
Just he drills him.
It's a good play, man.
It is. Finish
I mean,
is
that is
physical, and they bury Sellers right here.
this is what a collapsing pocket looks like.
Good stuff.
Let's see what Halton's got. I know he had it. Let's see. Ooh.
Just just loosening the hips up a little
Just
bit.
loosening things up.
Over to their sideline.
That's pretty good. I like that from Halton. You got to have a go-to sack dance. You just have to have
I think
it.
that was like I didn't have anything prepared, so what's the first thing that
I'm
comes
just
to
going to
mind?
move the hips a little bit.
Just
Here we
move the
go.
hip.
That's awesome. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. If you really like this, you can give us a super thanks down this way. Other than that, we'll see you next time here on In the Weeds.